So I'm here today with Janet Gunter of the Restart Project, and you came all the way out here to California from London. And we've been friends for a long time, but a lot of people that might not be in the UK aren't very familiar with the Restart Project. So I wanted to get you here and share what you're doing because this is just absolutely amazing. So the Restart Project, you hold local events that enable people to fix things.
Yeah, they're 3-hour drop-in events. They're free for the public, and volunteers help people fix their broken stuff.
So how did you get started doing this?
Ugo and I, my business partner and I, Ugo, we heard about the Repair Cafe in Holland. Ugo and I had been working in Africa and Latin America and Asia, bringing technology into community development projects and seeing how people took such great advantage of every last little thing they had, from an extension cable to, a pen to a hard drive. And when we come back, we just see people throwing stuff away, and very environmentally conscious people too, like the kind of people you wouldn't expect to be doing that. So this has been an issue for us for a while. And when we heard about the Repair Cafe, we thought we'd like to do our own version of it, which is super focused on electronics and really builds a movement towards better relationship with electronics.
So tell me, what does a typical event look like? So you do them in the evenings?
We do some on weekday evenings and then some on Saturdays, and we get more kids coming to those, so those are fun.
What's kind of the process?
Yeah, so ours is, it's very informal. It's an ad hoc event, but the only thing you really need to do is check in. So there'll be somebody hosting. Sometimes it's me. I'll find out what's wrong with your device, ask you some basic questions, and then I'll pair you with a volunteer repairer whose skill set that I already know.
So what made you decide that repair was the thing? Of all of the problems in the world, why are you focusing on getting more people fixing things?
Well, for us, repair is a way into a much larger topic, which is our relationship with our stuff, with technology. There's just so many different pieces of it that just don't quite feel right. And so repair is the easiest way. But what we'd love to do is to start kind of help people understand and connect all the dots. But for me, it's also a critical moment. It's a moment of, financial and environmental crisis. And one thing that I think people kind of ignore here in the US is that our consumption patterns and the accelerated way in which we consume is a massive contributor to climate change.
What do you think is behind this trend?
I just think that we've reached just a level of frustration and kind of an alienation from the stuff we have, that I think there was inevitably going to be a reaction against it. It doesn't make sense that you should have to replace your toaster every couple of years, replace your radio. Something about it doesn't feel right for a lot of people.
So if I wanted to get started, if I wanted to host an event or have some friends over, what would be your recommendation?
Okay, we have a guide, a kit to getting started. You can find it on our website, which is the restartproject.org/restartparty. And essentially what you need is people who want to organize a venue that's big enough, that has
like a library or
we've done it in libraries. So usually working through an existing local group. You can do that, and we have some advice about how to get started.
So what are you thinking is coming up next? What are your plans for this year?
For this year, we'd like to work a lot more with teachers and educators, and we're creating some materials they can use in middle schools and secondary schools. And we'd like to also work more with maker spaces and makers, figure out ways to kind of to create more events that are more appropriate for their spaces. So our events are quite big, and loads of people come, but we'd like to experiment a little bit with like a drop-in session, a drop-in night where people get advice from one or two people.
So, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I am ecstatic to see what you do next. It's been phenomenal to see you go from an idea, and we've been talking for years about doing this, and you've gone out there and done it, and you're having such a huge success on the ground. It's really encouraging. I'm very encouraged by what you're having. And it's certainly, I've seen you in the BBC, I've seen you in public policy circles. Like, it's amazing what, just this, simple local act of let's get together and fix some stuff. It's really starting to have ripples around the world.
Well, our idea was always to start locally, and that if we were to build anything, it had to start with people taking action, people doing stuff together. That's the kind of the grain, the beginning, the seed. Yeah.
And it's been working so well. So thank you so much for your work, and keep it up.
Thanks, Scott.